Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Hey, man, it's pretty black out, right? This time of year, it's 6 in the morning
It's a little dark.
It's dark. Did you see the moon this morning?
I didn't.
Oh, anyways, you were probably paying attention to driving, which is
I did.
good.
I usually watch the road.
I'm on a country road and I got to get out and get the gate and all that. And I looked up and it was kind of where it looks like that cat off that movie, you know, it looks like a smiley face.
Oh,
the
okay.
way the angle of the light is today. I forget how the whatever cat. But anyways, we got Clint Curtis here, the registrar of voters, with us today. And it looks like we're going to talk about whatever the heck we want.
Sounds good.
And so, man, you're running again. You got appointed. Now you're running.
Correct.
Personally, I think that, I'm really excited about having you in here for the first election coming up. I feel like there was, I didn't like the way things were before. I'm not going to get into that because I could talk for that for a couple hours.
They were a mess.
It was a mess, and it just wasn't really good for transparency and just for the people that were wanting to be observers or wanting to get a job there or, to be a part of that. You had to be like part of the cool kids club to not get treated like, just like a peasant, But anyways, so we've got you in there. I'm very excited. I mean, I know that there's a lot of things you can do and there's a lot of things you can't do. And in a perfect world, which we're not in, but I'm really happy. I wanted to bring it up. I really like the pamphlet that went out. I don't know how much of a part you had with that. I like classical music.
Guess I need to turn these off. What do you think?
Oh, it doesn't matter to me. I mean, if you got to answer the phone for the wife or a family member, it doesn't bother me at all.
Okay.
So what I was saying is the pamphlet. So before, I remember the first options that they talked about was vote by mail, vote by drop box, and then like your first option was vote in person, same day as voting. And I don't know, I like that because it almost seemed like the other voting in person was like the last thing option that was put out there. And I just kind of felt like, shouldn't that be like the number one way? I don't know, but I just like the order of it, basically.
Right. Or the whole Dropbox thing of, vote by Dropbox. Well, the Dropbox actually costs the county money.
Yeah.
Mail does not. If you return it by mail, the state has to pay us back for that postage. So it's completely free. I don't have to send a team of people out. And it's a lot more secure because, we send these people out to pick them up. Now we have them. They go directly there and directly back. No stopping off, no going to the bathroom, no going to lunch, no running different boxes. Before they didn't do that, just kind of ran all over around. They could stop at their house. You had a car broken into once that had ballots in it. So who knows what happened with that. But the point is, essentially, you don't want to do that, right? Eliminate that, go to the post office.
Yeah.
They're professionals. They're paid. There's security there. A lot more than I could ever offer in these little drop boxes.
Yeah.
And most of the drop boxes were stupid anyway. Like I've had people complain because I took the one out in Bernie. The one out in Bernie is 500 feet away from a mailbox. Put it in the mailbox. And I said, well, what about if I'm late because I'm doing it at the last minute? Well, it was sitting in front of the polling station at Bernie. There's a box inside. Step in that door and drop it in.
Yeah, right.
It's just nuts.
Americans want convenience on top of convenience.
Well,
no,
it's
I'm
not
joking.
convenience. It's a lack of security.
Yeah, I get it.
And, and so a lot of people were concerned because there's a big issue between a drop box and a mailbox. People say, what's the difference, right?
Yeah,
why do we care?
Absolutely.
Well, a drop box, if you stuff a drop box, if you do something illegal with a drop box, the state may look at it, but they never have. If you do something illegal in a mailbox, you're committing mail fraud. And the federal government is much more likely to look into that than the state government is. So if you want a security standpoint, mail is far superior to any sort of, homemade drop box or basket we put out to try and collect ballots.
It's not practical.
It's not.
It's just not efficient. It's not practical. How many different, like the more when you have too many different ways, just the more options of the ways that you can vote, the more options for funny sideways stuff. And I think that the less options and you have is the less it's narrowed down to less ways that things can happen.
There's always security or access. If they do not go together, they're actually opposites. So the more access you have, the less security you have. So if you just make it open to everyone who can do anything, just walk it in, throw it in there.
Yeah.
There's really no security.
Yeah.
So then things get a little kooky and people become uncomfortable. This way, it's much more targeted. You drop it in the mailbox, and you don't even have to go to a mailbox. You can just put it in your mailbox after you seal it up, and the postman will take it back for you. So, and he's paid to do that. So he's a lot more secure than the volunteers that are usually retired ladies that are running around.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, there's a difference between what they're doing at $17 an hour and what he's doing as a professional. So trust the professional if you want to mail it in. Or you can drop it off with us, or you can actually vote in person. I hope everyone comes in to vote in person, you know, at least at the Market Street, because we've changed everything. Everything is cleaned up, and we got the mess out of there, the wall that they had up, the spiked wall that separated the observers from the rest, it's gone. So, you know, we're cleaning all that up. So,
okay, so there's been so many different ways that we voted, and you know how you can vote. I mean, there was years where you get the mail-in ballot and you can't feed it in. You can feed it into the machine at your polling location. And then the next time you couldn't, you had to take it down to the ROV and then, you know, surrender the ballot, get another one. So can you take your mail-in ballot and then can you feed it into a machine?
No.
Okay.
No, we don't have the feed. Well, the feed in, it looks convenient, but the problem is you don't know what happens once it goes in the machine.
Okay, so what's the most, if you really want your vote to be counted, because I like to vote on the same day, and I feel like that's the best way to know that your vote counts. But so how do I go about doing that if I want to make sure my vote's counted?
Well, most of them are pretty secure now. I've changed all of the bad procedures. They used to just take the mail-in ballots, open them, put them in these bins, and sit them in a room completely without seals.
Yeah.
And they're walking them up and down the rooms, and they're going in and out of elevators, just carrying open ballots around.
Yeah.
Which means either you have to completely trust these people, which...
You're saying once it's separated from the envelope.
It's separated from the envelope, and it's just going everywhere. So they were just sitting in there for, you know, weeks.
Yeah.
Just open to anyone who had a key card, including extra help, including, you know, any sort of staff, anybody. So anybody could go in there and change it. Additionally, the security on the door was pretty suspect because it is not controlled by anyone outside of the election office. So the Register of Voters was actually controlling the access to a door where they could go in and change any vote they wanted.
Yeah.
Put anything in, take anything out. There's no cameras. There was no cameras at all.
Yeah, I know.
You couldn't see a thing.
I know.
So it was completely crazy. So
well, I've told that long story before. I'm not going to, where I stayed the night at the ROV's office because they wouldn't let us put just tape on the door. And by the time there was 15 people in there in the morning, and they said they weren't going to start counting votes till 10. And I mean, I demanded to go into the room where the ballots were, and there was a lot of pushback. And finally, I wouldn't take. I was like, no, I want in there right now, because I said, is there people in there with the ballots and without proper observation? Because you know there was no. They said, oh, we're going to start counting. And they're like, we told you we're going to count the votes that start at 10. And I'm like, yeah, but is there people in there with them right now? And there was 5 people in there.
Yeah.
People sit, and I'm just like, how
safe is that?
How safe is that? And just like, even if there's no funny business going, it's just like, you know, I don't expect anybody to trust me. Like, oh, I'm just hanging out with the ballots, eating lunch. Don't worry about it.
Right.
You know, trust me. It's
exactly.
Like,
that's insane.
Let's just take all that.
Take it off the table.
Yeah,
don't
just take
do
it off
that.
the table. Yeah.
Don't do that. You know, because can you trust them? Maybe. But also, many of the people that work there are actually making less than people who start working at McDonald's. They're making less than $20 an hour.
Yeah.
So if someone paid them to feed something in, would they do it? I don't know. But they certainly could, because the way it was set up, anything could have been fed in, anything could have been taken out. And when we ended up with 2,700 more votes than actual voters that signed up to vote, that becomes a real problem. Where did those votes come from? Additionally, there are extra pads for votes. And so what happens with those is they basically have those so that if someone comes in and you're swapping out ballots, you actually have a control. You can give them a ballot to vote on. But they didn't secure those.
Okay.
Those were just left in boxes and pads. And now everything is sealed, locked up, got a seal on it so you can't get in there. If you get in there, we'll know. At the end of this election, we'll actually go through those blanks and make sure they're counted because they come in these little books. But I've seen this in other locations. I haven't seen this one yet, but pages were missing out of that little book. Someone would come and take a couple of pages out on the other sides. Not up where you could see it, but down through the book. And if you don't check it, you don't know. And if they're not sealed, it's real easy to do.
Yeah, for sure.
So there was no real control there. Now everything is under camera all the time.
Yeah.
All of the ballots are stored in these see-through clear containers, 4 seals on each container, that every time they add a ballot or take it out, to process, they have to cut those seals, record in a log.
Yeah, the chain of custody is all very secured.
It's massive now. It's overkill maybe, but overkill's good.
I mean, might as well take the question out of it, where
Right.
Okay, that's awesome. I'm like I said, I'm very excited to finally have an election that, is I know it's not a perfect system because you have to work. I mean, we still don't have voter ID. Okay, getting back to the best way to vote though, okay, because a lot of people drop their mail-in ballot off at the day of election.
Right.
And then some people, so what's the different options that you can vote on the day? I always surrendered in this recent of this mail-in ballot type stuff, since, I mean, it's all changed, but since then I've always requested an in-person ballot and filled that out, and I usually would surrender my ballot, but then I'd rip it up, and they'd always get mad at me, but I just felt like if I ripped the other one up, I just didn't want another ballot. I don't know. And they'd be like, "Why'd you do that?" I'm like, I don't know. I just don't like the fact of all these different ballots.
It's just hanging out there, right?
Yeah,
but so much doing that.
But anyway, so what are the different options if you want to vote in person, same day? If
you come in and vote in person, same day, you have to bring your other ballot with you.
Yes.
If you don't, you can still vote, but it's provisional, which means you have to go through and check to make sure it didn't come in as someone else.
Yes.
And that's a big problem because if someone else gets your ballot and sends it in and the signature is close enough to go through signature verification, which almost all of them are, honestly, they're not that selective here.
For sure.
So,
unless you're John Knight, because just joking. They challenged mine 2 elections ago. Yeah. And I went in and I go, what? And they showed me the signatures that they had on file for me. It's exactly the same. And I was like, I'm on the email list with the state. They sent me an email. Hey, your vote got challenged or whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Right.
I forget the name of it, but I signed up with it. And anyways, I went in and I said, hey, and they gave me a form and they were nice. And I filled it out. But I was like, what the heck? I mean, how many people aren't signed up with the state that get a letter in the mail, and how selective? I mean, that's another way you could just be like challenge certain people. I mean, who knows?
Well,
I mean,
that happened a lot early on.
Yeah.
In fact, that was a big thing for Republican groups to challenge every Democratic voter. I don't know why. I don't know what it did, but it's like, that's silly.
Well, if some of these votes, some of these elections come down to 11 votes or.
Right. But that's just making the system, that's just breaking the system to try to fix it.
Yeah.
'Cause that doesn't really work. Challenge the ones that look like they need to be challenged.
100%.
Don't just get in there and challenge everything that you know is a Democrat or everything you know is a Republican just to mess it up.
Yep.
And probably with your case, someone just messed it up because they don't like you. Because there's a lot of these little, I like to call them terrorist light people around here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure how light they are because, we've had some issues.
The definition of terrorism, you get there and there's some people that fit that definition. But anyways.
But they'd like to. I don't think they're quite there. But they're
sorry, I got you off track talking about the signature challenge. But I was asking you, what's the different ways you can vote in person on same day?
So in person, you go in, you bring your ballot in, they'll give you a new one, or you can just hand your ballot off. Either way. and then it just goes in this little box, and then we sort them in the back. But now everything is above board. We have observers.
You think they're both as safe pretty much?
They're pretty much as safe. Well, nothing's going to happen to your ballot now. I can't guarantee that was the case before.
Yeah, for sure.
Because now we have observers at every stage.
Yeah,
we have
for sure.
an actual chain of
They're going to
custody.
stay in the envelope. They're not just going to get taken out of the envelope and
Exactly.
thrown in bins, and who knows who's got access to it. And
The envelopes are not opened before they're actually taken
Yeah.
out to be sorted. In fact, when they run them through the thing to do the signature verification,
Yes.
those envelopes are staying closed. We're actually opening those right before we do the sorts and put them into stacks of 50 so that we can actually do the count.
now, does this happen on the same day, or is this happening previous? Do you guys start? Because I know before they were counting the mail-ins, like before.
Where we did not get our funding to do them at the precincts. We
Okay.
wanted to do them at the precincts and
Yeah.
have them sorted there.
Okay.
Because that speeds things way up.
Yeah.
And then I have 50 people doing the sort as opposed to 15.
Yeah.
So it's much quicker and it's
Yeah.
much more efficient, and I can have multiple parties there to actually watch what's going on as opposed to staff. Mm-hmm. And staff is usually okay, but do you really know where they are and if they're, going to do anything they shouldn't?
Yeah.
And even if you don't think they are, you shouldn't trust it, right?
Yeah.
You
For
can't
sure.
trust anything, because the minute you trust it, that's when it bites you in the tail. So, I tell everybody, treat this like a show. This is to show people that their ballot is going to be counted correctly. Everything for everybody to see. You may trust yourself. You may trust the guy next to you, but show them that you are doing it correctly. Don't be lazy. Don't be sloppy. Get it done correctly. So that's how we're doing it now.
So without, say you go in there and they're like, you already voted, just out of curiosity. I mean, I know this whole anonymous, we got to keep everything, to where nobody knows, how you voted for, so nobody knows, hey, you voted Republican or you voted Democrat or
Right.
you're whatever.
Like most people don't know that anyway, but go on.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, if you go in there, is there any way? I know that there's no perfect system, but I'm just wondering. because anybody could have a list of people who are registered to vote, but don't ever really vote. So it wouldn't be hard
Right.
to obtain a list like that and just be
And in fact,
go
you have-
around and I mean the same person could go to a different precinct essentially and without even a mail-in ballot and just say, hey, I don't have my mail-in ballot, but I'm this person,
Right.
and I've done that before. I've never voted as someone else,
Good.
but I've
Don't do
gone,
that.
No. I voted as myself, but I moved and changed my address to where I didn't have the mail-in ballot because it was like 5 days before and it had to
Right.
be so I just went in there and then they actually, I don't think this was protocol, but they handed me a list and they said, well, find yourself on here. They didn't even ask who and I was like, okay. They
Well,
gave
that
me,
is not good.
I was like, I've got everyone. And I go and I go through it. It's alphabetical, and I go, "That's me right there." And they were like, "Oh, okay."
It's a bad
and
way
they,
to do it.
They got on the phone and with the state, they get on the phone and they're like, "Hey, is this John Knight guy registered to vote or whatever?" And and I'm just like, okay, but I mean, I didn't have to be John Knight to find myself on the list.
I know, that's
and if
the
I would
problem.
have had that list, if I would have had a list of people, because think if someone's only voted twice and in the last 8 years they might be registered to vote. Because I think when you go get your license or, hey, do you want to register to vote? You just click, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's pretty easy to have a list of people.
It is. And if they hand you the list, that's even easier because you can just pick one. Because in California, there's no voter ID. We're
Yeah.
not even allowed to ask for it. So you could
let's
come in.
let's say I go in there though, and they're like, you already voted. And I'm like, no, I didn't. Is there any way to kind of figure that out? Or is it pretty much?
Well, the problem is that if you already voted, like someone got your ballot and returned it, and it got counted as being voted,
Yeah.
they're going to let you vote provisional, but it's not ever going to be counted.
Yeah.
So you are screwed.
Okay.
Because even though the guy that faked it, you might be the real person, you could show ID, everybody knows
Yeah.
you, it makes absolutely no difference because they can't count it twice. So the guy who is actually the voter is not able to vote, and the other ballot got counted.
Well, hopefully on the state level we can get this voter ID, or if this local thing works out. There's a lot of back and forth about what's legal and not legal and what you can do and what you can't do.
Nothing's legal till it is. That's the
Yes.
way I look at it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
You know,
Well, I hope we can get to where at least in Shasta County we can start doing some voter ID stuff. But
voter ID would be good. In Texas, for the mail-in ballots, they actually have to include a PIN number. And so they get that PIN number assigned, and so they have a double level of
okay,
actually what's going on. Now, that has flaws too, because of course, you know, if you have the computer and you get the system,
Yeah.
you know the PIN number.
yes.
So it's a security thing that may not be secure.
I mean, the more layers of,
Right.
you know, I mean,
Yeah.
even with voter ID, I mean, technically, I guess you could steal
Take your ID, right?
Yeah, I mean,
It's a lot of work, especially for coming in.
It's a lot of work for one vote.
right.
You
And
know what
that's
I'm
the key.
saying? But right now, I mean, that would be a little hard. I mean, you might be able to steal your sister's ID and go and vote for her because you look kind of like her or something. But that would be like a lot less.
Yeah, you're not going to get a lot of volume out of that.
No.
Yeah,
But if you have if the same group of people can go around and vote for, you know, say, you know, 100 people could vote 10 times, that's 1,000 votes.
Right.
Or if 100 people could go to every single precinct, is there 58 or is it 68 or I can't remember how many precincts there are.
Well, there's actually only polling stations.
Or polling stations.
There's
I'm
only
sorry.
about 52.
52.
But
Okay,
some of
okay.
them are combined. So we have, you know, the 60 plus precincts are combined into upper polling stations.
52 polling
Polling
stations.
stations, right.
Okay. So if you went to 50, so I mean, if you know, whatever, 100 people times 52, I mean, that's 5,200 votes.
You probably get caught.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. Someone's
yeah.
going to notice that you're going everywhere. That's why computers were so bad is people could cheat before,
Yes.
but now the computers could cheat behind the scenes and you can't catch them. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why we're trying to go this thing where people can actually see the ballots before they go in the machine, because then they can check and make sure the machine gives the right total.
Yeah.
And that's the key. And then they see them again once they're out. So it's 2 extra quick steps, but it actually speeds things up because everything becomes very processing at that point. So it makes it quicker, and it's just a better overall way to do it. So
awesome.
if we can get that pushed out everywhere, then I think we can give elections that people can actually trust. Because right now they don't. Nor
Yeah.
should they. Nor should they. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of reason not to. I mean, especially anybody who's been involved in the process, you know, a lot of people don't think about it. They just go and drop it off and
Right.
go, you know, here you go. And don't think about it too much.
And
But
observers are very important. In communist countries, they try and limit observers, right? They don't want them.
yeah,
Because you might observe something. That's kind of what's happening in Shasta County. They put up this staked room, they hid everything, they locked it away from people. And so we're doing exactly the opposite. We have to have an observer lounge now where people can come in, watch all the processes on a video right above them. You know, have you been there yet?
you know what? I haven't. I'm.
That's horrible.
I
Okay.
know. I'm going to go in there and check it out.
Get your keister out there. Okay.
I'm excited.
And, you know, to be able to drink their water and eat their cookies or whatever right in that room, because you can't do it in the production area because you can't have cookie crumbs in your scanners.
Yes.
That would be bad. Or water on your ballots, not a good thing. But in that area, people can relax and do it. And then we also will have stools sitting right behind the workers. I mean, talking 3 feet behind them, looking over them so they can actually see everything that's going on. So we are welcoming observers. Now, you got to stay on your stool. You can't be up wandering around because
Yeah.
can't have that in production. So if you're too fidgety, then do the observer's lounge. Otherwise, we have to throw you out. And it's not
Yeah.
worthwhile.
Is the video going to be archived?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
It's going to be live streamed and then archived so people can download it and count it on their own. And of course, you know, this is a very small election. There, you know, if you're in Reading, you have 2 selections. And if you're just in the county, you only have 1. So technically you could count it on the screen while we're counting it. So it's, you know, it's pretty easy, but generally archive would be better because the election might be a little longer. So
Yeah. If there's only 2 people in the race you were counting, I was thinking a clicker in each hand.
Clicker
You
would
could
work, wouldn't it?
Click, 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 right, left, left.
You can do it.
Yeah, right? You could do it like it'd be pretty easy.
Yeah.
You could even kind of put it on a time lapse almost. And if you were going back after the fact.
Yeah, you
and
could
just
slow
click,
it down
click,
to whatever
click.
you want to see.
Yeah, you slow it down, speed it up.
Speed it up.
I'd speed it up because I'm just like, go.
You're faster.
Yeah. Well, it depends on how fast the people are counting.
Right.
I've seen some people count pretty fast, but I've also seen some people count pretty slow.
Right. By the end of the day, they're going to be slower.
So, how are you guys doing on staff?
Staff, we can still use a few more extra help people,
Okay.
just to make sure it all gets done.
Yeah.
Those will be the people who will doing those count to 50s. And before they go through the scanner, and they'll do scanning, and they'll also put them in the stacks when they come in, because we won't have enough people at the precincts to do that.
Yeah.
Because I wanted some closers to come in, because, after you've worked a full day, it's tough to sit there and have to sort everything.
Yeah.
So I wanted some closer people to come in to actually make the stacks for us at the precincts before they send them in.
Yeah.
Because that would speed everything up and make it much smoother, and you'd have the precincts having control again. Because basically they've tried to take all the control away from the people and put it in, bureaucrats and machines, which is a good way to lose your elections and a good way to lose your freedom. So you don't want to do that. So we're trying to push that back to the people where they actually control these elections again.
How do people sign up for that? Or
Oh, they can just go to the county and go upstairs and apply and say, I want to be an
awesome.
extra helper.
That's great.
It's that simple. And they go up, they'll line them up, and they send them all to me. They don't try and feather any of them out of there. They just send them to me so I can look at them and make sure, they haven't killed anybody this week.
Right.
Because if they have, we can't take
If
them.
it was last week, it's
Last
okay.
week, I might be okay. Might be a little more selective, but you know what I mean.
No, for sure. No, that's good. I mean, you're not profiling people based on their beliefs or anything
Absolutely
like
not.
that. Yeah. No, that's
In fact, we were trying to get the leaders of both sides.
Yeah.
But the people on the left just didn't show up.
well.
I got a few, I think. I don't know because I don't really know exactly what's going on. But not many. Not many at all.
Okay.
So they say they want to be involved, but they don't.
Well,
Because I can have them frontline involved if they show up to do it.
I really hope that we do, because it would just be nice and
Right.
and
And then everybody would find out they're not monsters and everybody can get along, which is really doing fairly well right now. Everybody's
Yeah.
getting along very well, and there's really no drama or commotion or anything now. And, observers aren't mad about not being able to see anything because they can see everything,
yeah.
And I still have some spots available. So if you want to really observe up close and personal, apply for extra help.
But, I always say we need to unite so we can fight later.
Yes.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And what I mean by, I like to debate people. I like to argue with people, and
You? Not all.
but I mean, I like the difficult. I mean, I wouldn't even. Nothing's difficult for me really to talk about for the most part. I mean, there's some gross. I mean, there's some very dark humor, and like there's areas I don't like to go. I'm just like, well, I'm not, because I'm not into some stuff for sure. But when it comes to politics or just ideologies and stuff like that, I love it. And I think most people, if we weren't so divided and conquered, we would agree on most things. And
This should be easy.
yeah, I mean, free and fair or fair elections,
Yeah.
and
And something everyone can see.
I know.
Everyone can see it. So it's not like I can taint it one way or the other. If I left it the way it was when I got here, I could determine every election in this county, every one of them, just by how I wanted to do it. Because I could go in that room, stuff any ballot, move anything I wanted to. That's the way it was set up. I don't know if you had a real election in Shasta County in years, because it's a mess.
Yeah.
You might have if the people didn't bother to do it, but if they wanted to, there was no way the system was locking them out. In fact, the little doors you have to scan to go in,
Yeah.
I was looking at the logs. After this election, I'll look a little closer, but there are hundreds of entries into that ballot room, which has absolutely no identification who went in there. So
it's
it
just
was-
staff member.
No, it's blank. It's like it was deleted or there's an error. I don't know. I haven't gone into that yet, but I will do that after this election because I haven't had time to, sit down there.
Yeah. You got to get ready for this. So is there a way to, okay, well, was it supposed to be where your card was unique to you?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you have a unique card. It tells you who it is.
That's the way it was before.
Yes.
Also.
Still is. But there are hundreds that have nothing on there, like they're blanked out. And I have to find out if that's been deleted or because it wasn't controlled by an outside group. They actually had the ROV controlling what the access was. And it's like, well, that's not a good idea. Because now you have no control. It's like security that has no security. But I'm told that's kind of the norm in Shasta County. IT does not control the door security. They don't have any idea what's going on, which is weird. I mean, I'm used to more of a NASA, DOD type of an atmosphere where, you know, there's a group that actually watches that and pays attention and all that kind of thing. If you don't have the watchers, you have really no security. You have a way to unlock your door.
You know what they use the IT guys for is to make sure there's no trip hazards. That's what the guy said, that so that morning there was 15 people in the ROV's office where we stayed the night, and then I was in the front, Bruce Anderson was in the back, and I was sitting watching the front doors. We're just watching in to make sure no one's in there by the ballots while they're not being properly observed, right? And then this guy comes and sits down around, I don't know, it was 6:45 or something like that, maybe 7 o'clock. I got to have to go back. I think it was 7:11 that the time the door got open, but he sat down with me for about 10, 15 minutes, and he's like, hey, what are you doing here? And I was like, just sitting here making sure that nobody's messing with the ballots, you know. Well, you know, they wouldn't let us put tape on the door, so I just stay here all night. All we wanted to do is put tape on the door. And I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm an IT guy, you know. And I was like, well, what are you doing here? And he goes, I'm here to make sure there's no trip hazards or anything like that. And I was like,
did they grow overnight? I mean,
I don't know. He was like, you know, any chairs or cords or this and that. And
I
was
like I move something?
Yeah, and then he was the second guy in. A lady came in. I call her the cast lady. She's got a name, but she came in through the back. And Bruce Anderson texted me. He goes, someone just came in through the back. The Mike was his name, the IT guy, and I got pictures of all of them. This has all been documented in whatever affidavits and on the whatnot. And he looks at his phone, then he walks up to the front door, and the cast lady opens up the door, and he slips in real quick. And I say, excuse me, and she goes, no, and slams the door in my face. And I was like, okay.
That attitude, huh?
Yeah, but like I said,
we're trying to cure that.
Yeah, it was the morning. I mean, we'll cut her some slack. Maybe she didn't have her coffee yet. But,
that could be.
But I'm just like, I mean, like, that's so weird. Like, the IT guy is there before anybody else to make sure there's no trip hazards. Now, I can't say he did anything. I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying, like,
yeah, but
geez.
Just doesn't, the optics are wrong. And when you are dealing with elections and you're dealing with something that probably the most important thing to people are their ability to actually vote for who they want to vote for, because otherwise things just spiral out of control. And that's why over the last 20 years, there's so much discourse, because now you've been locked out. So they'll tell you who won and you get to accept it.
Yeah.
And the people in charge of who won are the people who say they got elected. So it's kind of a circular game, and that's not good. So we're going to try and return that to the people so you will know that everything is upfront, everything is clear, everything is good. We'll get it done.
Hey, I can take I don't always have to think. I'd rather lose and it be legitimately what the people voted for than win and it being
and they
manipulated.
They proved it to you that you lost.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
They need to prove it. We need to prove everything we do to the public.
You know what I do when I lose? I just try harder next time.
Exactly.
I'm like, I'm gonna be unbeatable next time. I mean, not that I don't run, but I mean, as far as work, you know, just losing in general,
right?
Just makes me better.
Makes you better, but you want to lose if you know you lose. You don't want to be told you lost, and then everyone says, "Oh, but you can't see anything." You know, I always played that little game. I don't know if I played with you yet or not. I bet you $1. We'll play an election game.
Okay.
Okay. Got $1, right? Okay. So I'm going to think of a number, 1 or 2.
Okay.
This is for $1. What's the number?
2.
Wrong. You owe me $1.
Yeah.
That's our election system.
Yeah, for sure. Wrong.
Too bad.
Yeah,
I'm going to write it down.
We flipped a coin and it was tails 100 times in a row.
I'm going to write this down now because this is what we're doing with like the paper.
Yeah.
I'm going to write this down, do it again, okay? Don't watch what I'm writing here. Okay. 1 or 2. Double or nothing.
1.
Wrong. And I can't show you what I wrote down as proprietary. Sorry.
Proprietary software here.
That's proprietary.
It's a magical pen. Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous.
And then when the Democrats went crazy over Biden, I have a third one for this one. Because now you don't believe it anymore, right? And it could be completely right. You could have been wrong both times.
Yeah.
But you're not going to believe it because you were basically locked out of actually seeing anything.
Yeah.
You don't know. So I'm going to play one more time, the Biden game, okay? 1 or 2, pick it.
1.
Correct. Well, now the system's good, right?
I love this system.
I'm not going to show you one. I'm not going to show you anything that would validate that
I
you won.
won. I don't care.
Exactly. And that's what happened to the Democrats. For 20 years, they were trying to work on elections. And then suddenly, they won one, and they did not want to look any further. It didn't matter if it looked screwy. It didn't matter if the numbers were all messed up. No, we won. We're good. And so they went way over to now, oh, the computers are perfect. Do they understand now that Donald Trump is controlling those computers? And they're still comfortable?
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I don't trust any politician, just to be honest. I mean, I trust you. I like you. I guess you're kind of a politician now. I guess you got to kind of, well, you're a pretty straightforward guy, though. I bet you quite a few.
You'll like the trust issue even better because after the election, I'm going to take a polygraph that I, nor anyone that I would allow to
say
do
what?
it. I'm taking a polygraph that nothing happened in that election. We didn't move a ballot. We didn't do anything illegal. And so anybody else that ever did this before with all the screwiness, I challenge them to take one too.
Wow.
Did they ever move any ballots? Did they ever add anything? How'd those 2,700 ballots show up?
Oh my gosh. Can we, I think that would be Joanna. Come on, Joanna.
Come on. You need to prove that you didn't do anything.
I think that's freaking awesome.
I think so.
How transparent is that? You know what? Can we let Joanna pick the person that runs you don't
Sure, we need to do it here if you want.
How do we make sure that the person running the polygraph is not bought and paid for by the other? I don't know how you.
Yeah.
I mean, do you like?
We could find
you put like the 5 top people in the area, and then you like it's like the lottery. You know what I mean? Maybe I don't know. I mean,
well, these have a certain pattern, and if you film it, other polygraphists will know if they're lying or not.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Because they can watch the lines and stuff.
They can't really
We do it on
tweak
camera.
Yeah.
Because when you ask the questions and it's on there live, then if someone's... Because the way I've only seen it on TV. I've never taken one, but I know when people start getting nervous, it starts acting up a little bit. Well,
I took one when I first testified that I wrote the code to flip votes on this machine. Just because people are, that didn't happen. Well, let's take a polygraph and show you. So I took a polygraph, said, yes, this is what happened. I was requested as a programmer to write the prototype for the electronic voting machines.
Yep.
And in that prototype, the request was made to allow someone with particular knowledge to go in and select the winner of any race they wanted to select. That was the request. That's what I produced. That's why I testified before Congress, and that's what I took a polygraph on.
So I think this should be standard procedure for any politician. I mean, hey, just take the polygraph or just don't and let the other guy do it and kind of look like, well, what do you got to hide?
That's right.
I think that's freaking awesome.
At least in elections, it's very important because the ROVs, if they set their system up like it was set up here where they could just basically stroll in doing anything they wanted to anyway, it's very important to know if they did or not. So I wouldn't mind seeing that all around the state and these people and, see what kind of... And I've seen a lot of other systems that are done well. In Shasta County, it was worse than Honduras, Venezuela. Third world country.
No, it was horrible. I know. I haven't been involved in the last couple because I've just been a little bit too busy, but I've witnessed it firsthand and just there's so many different ways, and you're just like, hey, shut up. And you're just like, we're gonna kick you out of here. And then someone else comes in and they're like, hey, and you're like, hey, quiet. And you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
You're like, I was whispering and I'm getting told to shut up, and then someone else comes in here and yells at your buddy, and it's all good. I'm like,
Yeah, it wasn't done right. It wasn't done right. But we're changing that. So,
Yeah.
and everybody can come in, be right part of the system now. In fact, they can actually be part of the system.
Yeah.
Sign up for extra help. Get yourself in there. It's not going to be the most exciting job in the world. I'm going to tell you up front.
Yeah. I mean, it's very monotonous.
It is monotonous.
Yeah.
If you don't like to sit in one chair in one location for 2 hours,
Gosh.
counting into little stacks and then putting them in, sealing them, flipping the corner, it's probably not the job for you.
Are you allowed to have headphones on to listen to music or something? Or
Nope, you got to pay attention.
yeah, right.
It's horrible.
Okay.
Can you imagine paying attention for 2 hours?
Ooh. No, to one thing like that, I'm used to being like all over the place with
Right.
different things. Like I get tugged on every
Your
limb in
personality
my.
may not be for the sedate counting.
I mean, I wish I could lead by example and say I'm going to be there. I'm wearing too many hats right now, and I'm too busy, and it sounds like an excuse, but I'm not going to be there this one. Maybe
You
next.
can be an observer and just watch
Yes.
the section you want, and then when you get really bored, get up and go watch another one, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because there's spots all over the place. You can watch them, feed them through. You can watch, but the key is not that you're going to see anything. The key is you're there to watch, which means nothing can happen,
Yeah.
and that's the key because
Yeah.
nothing can
I
happen.
will
if you're
volunteers
watching.
on the days that I don't
you
absolutely
go.
have to be at work. Absolutely. And I'll figure out who's going to be helping with that. And even if someone on the left is going to be, or whoever, I don't really care. I'll help them. I'll help be an observer for
We want the left, we want the right, we want everybody.
whoever's helping organize
Exactly.
that stuff of who's going to be there. So we don't have too many people observing. Obviously you can only have some.
I have
I mean,
16 inside of the production area
Yeah.
and about 30 in the lounge. That's a lot of people.
yeah.
I'm told you've never had that many people observing, so we shall see.
No, we usually down. I mean,
20,
yeah, max.
right?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. That's
we
awesome.
we have twice that many.
Well, that's great. That's great. I mean, well, I hope that
If I had a
there's
bigger
enough
space, you
people.
would have had 100 locations.
Yeah. I mean, I really hope that we can people from all different walks of life can come together and we can do this thing together.
Yep.
And I mean, let's heal together. Let's have some good conversations, and we can all believe in what we believe in, and
Right.
and
At least you'll know that the count is correct.
yeah,
It may not come out the way you want, but the count will be correct.
That's
And
life.
You can check it yourself. That's the most important feature.
Yeah.
You can actually find out for self if it is counted correctly. And you can watch it being counted. You're not going to be shoved out behind a spiked wall. Just the way it is.
yeah. All right. Well, is there anything else you want to cover? I mean, anything at all? The
Well,
floor.
they had the thing they addressed where they were thinking that we were, I don't know, interfering with free speech.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw that.
I think I heard a little something
They
about
were
it.
whining about that. It wasn't about free speech.
Yeah.
It's about freeloading. Shasta Scout is listed as a charitable organization, 501c3, which is strictly prohibited from being involved in political activity,
Okay.
which I think anyone would agree they're involved in political activity.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
do have an opinion. And so I got them off of this list that I didn't produce the list. It was there before. I was going to clean it up, and take off
Yeah.
all the people that are really not media.
Yeah.
And I'm offended by people who pretend to be charities when they're not, because
Yeah.
I've helped a lot of 501c3s get
Yeah.
going, mostly veterans organizations and domestic violence. That's kind of my people I work with the most.
Yeah.
But every time you have these that sign up to be charities,
Yeah.
and I've only seen this on the left, which
Yes.
always bothered me, is that they think that they can run their media programs
Yeah.
left-leaning and be charities, so they're paid for by the citizens. You're actually subsidizing Shasta Scout. Didn't know if you knew that.
Yeah. I've got into the funding stuff. Yes.
Yes.
I understand that. Yeah.
You're not a
There's-
501c3, are you?
No.
No, of course not.
It's unfortunately We do have a couple good sponsors that do help out, but it's 90% of it's been me out of pocket.
Right. But I
So-
mean, you're not begging from the government.
No, I've never. Unfortunately, I mean, I don't want any strings attached, but I'll take funding from wherever I can because I don't make as much money as I used to.
Well, let's not be a 501c3. I'm just saying.
No, for sure, absolutely.
You can be a 501c4.
Yeah.
But then you can get funding, but you don't get funding for. You don't get free funding.
Yes.
It's 501c3. Do not pay taxes.
Yeah.
People who donate to them. So you have these internal donation things that go on in the Democratic Party where they push this message around and they do it for free. They get to write that off.
Yes.
So President Trump has been paying a lot of attention to this type of, I call it fraud.
Yeah.
You know, so
Like the USAID type
all that
stuff.
kind of stuff. NPR used to be a normal station 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But it slid drastically to a particular side.
Yeah.
And then they were still being funded by the government. It's like, technically you shouldn't be doing that. And he stopped it, right? And he should have. They should either pushed back to where they were in the center or stopped it altogether. And he just stopped it. But basically, I filed a complaint with the IRS that for fraud.
Yeah.
And I would like everyone else who does not want to be subsidizing Shasta Scout and their affiliate organization to do the same so that we can get it investigated. And I also filed with the DOJ so they can look it over.
Yeah.
And so we can remove that. You know, they can, if they want to be media, be media.
Yeah.
I don't care. It doesn't make any difference to me. Mm-hmm. But, you know, they were talking about how they were getting their, how they were being discriminated against. I looked at the list.
Yeah.
Guess who wasn't on it?
Who?
You.
Okay.
Or any other conservative station. Not a single one.
Yeah.
So it may have been a discriminatory list, but it wasn't my discriminatory list.
Okay.
So now there's no list. We just post it on the website. Anybody can go look at it, but we're not going to give preferential treatment to, you know, a few people here or there and let everybody else out in the cold. And I don't want to maintain a list of 10,000 people.
Yeah.
So it's done, right? So if I can't include everybody, I'll include nobody.
Yeah. There you go.
That'll work.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming out this morning and meeting me bright and early. I know that you were wanting to meet later in the day, unless he's like, well, he's not more of a morning person. So I appreciate you coming here early. And no, it's great. And I'm
busy during the day.
What's that?
I'm busy during the day.
Yeah, I know. Well, thanks for making the time outside your really busy schedule. And I know that you're going to get reelected, and I'm very excited about having somebody. I mean, you moved all the way out here from Florida to come here to our beautiful home here in Shasta County that I love so much, and I'm just it feels really good to be excited about an election coming up, other than just kind of like, I don't have all the anxiety I had before. So anyways, I just really appreciate you coming out here, dropping everything and moving out here to Shasta County and all the good work that you're doing. So
really
thank you so much.
Here.
And if you're out here listening, I mean, get involved. Go, if you have the time, go and volunteer, help Clint with his campaign. If you can, I mean, go and donate. You know, we can all help out in different ways. And thank you so much. I appreciate you, Clint.
Thank you, sir.